What is India Inc. doing in an obscure Gujarati village early in the morning? We're here to bring you this week the story of an extraordinary farmers' cooperative that became so successful that it became a successful business enterprise. We bring you this week the story of Amul. Dr. Verghese Kurian, without whom there may not have been an Amul, did not set out to become the milkman of India as he came to be known. He began his career with an apprenticeship with the Tata Group in Jamshedpur. For personal reasons, he decided this was not for him and accepted a government scholarship for higher studies in America.
The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, Sir Maurice Goire, who was the chairman of the selection committee to send people abroad, asking me what is pasteurization. I told him I did not know, but I think it has something to do with milk. He said, yes, you are selected for the award of a scholarship in dairy engineering. Now, dairying for an engineer is infra-D. I didn't want. So I told him, can't you give me something in metallurgy or steel making or something? He said, no, this or nothing, make up your mind. I said, but I have not seen a cow. So Sir Maurice told me, well, that is not your problem, that's our problem. We'll see that you meet a cow before you go abroad. So I was sent to the Imperial Dairy Research Institute at Bangalore, as it was then called. And as soon as I went there, I knew I'd committed a mistake. Because the type of people I met there were third-raters compared to the first-raters I met in Tata Steel. And they didn't like me, which was okay because I didn't like them either. And they were not going to teach me anything. So I spent all my time in the nightclubs and in the bars of Bangalore. It was a gay city. It's wartime.
Then you come back to India and you're forced to pay off the loan that you...
By working for...
By coming to Anand. You don't think it was meant to be that you came here?
No. But you can throw me any way you like, I'll land on my 4 feet.
But you wouldn't have been the milkman of India.
I may have been something else.
Would you have liked to be?
Who knows? I haven't tried anything else.
So anyway, then you come to Anand, which at that point was, what, one street?
About 10,000 people. And since I was a Christian, I was a meat eater, and I was a bachelor, no Patel here would give me a house to stay in. So I had to stay in the garage of the dairy. Somebody told Trivondas, mine was a government research creamery on this side, and that side was the cooperative struggling for its existence. And somebody told Trivondas, a great foreign returned expert has come. So Trivondas came to the garage to see me. And he told me that, why don't you come to the dairy, there are so many things that you can do to help us. And I used to go because I had no other work. And gradually and imperceptibly he dragged me into the affairs of the cooperative.
What was he like as a person?
He was a freedom fighter. He entered politics in order to make the country free. He was not the modern type of a politician. Trivondas was no problem. He knew that I knew management. I knew that he had the confidence and support of the farmers of Kera. So this combination of Trivondas and Kurian was wonderful. If you ask Trivondas, he will say Kurian has done it all. If you ask me, I will tell you the truth, that Trivondas has done it. But frankly, both were required to get this done.
He said, but we don't want women vets. So I'm sorry, I can't give you a job. And then I said, well, let me work in an honorary capacity and gain some experience. Because you know, in veterinary colleges, you don't get that year of internship that you get in medical colleges. So I said, let me get some experience. And so for about 11 months, I just worked with other vets, going to the villages. Yes, it was a mobile veterinary service. You went every morning, came back in the afternoon. The nutritionist was a lady, and she said, well, I want a female counterpart. So the only female with some education of this kind was me. So Dr. Kurian sent for me and said, I give you a temporary job for 3 months while she's here. And that's it. So have no expectations. So I said, okay. I joined the cattle feed plant. And in that period, they kept advertising and recruiting nutrition officers, male nutrition officers, who would join. And it was such a jungle and a wilderness that they wouldn't last more than a month. So they went through 3 officers. And finally he said, well, just stay on. And so I stayed on. Amul had already had a dairy. It had just started its input program of veterinary service, seed production, and improving the breeding and the quality of the animals. So it was at a time when there was tremendous spirit, there was tremendous, and in fact a very high level of motivation.
You don't really talk about any bad times, other than a few run-ins with the bureaucracy.
My bad times were all related to the bureaucracy. In fact, you see, I have still not understood, even today, why the Secretary of Agriculture of India should be an IAS officer who does not know agriculture. I have not understood. He was a labor secretary before. He was an industry secretary before. And because he is an IAS officer, he has been made Secretary of Agriculture. And I have to convince him, let alone having to convince the minister, who's usually a lawyer. So the whole of this administration of India, I mean, I have always said this, the IAS should be abolished.
The Amul empire still remains structurally as it was when it was first started by Dr. Kurian and Tribhuvan Das Patel. At the primary rung of the chain are the farmers who bring their milk every morning to collection centers spread across the country.
So explain to me what's going on here.
Actually, there are 225 milk producer members here in the Navli Village Cooperative Society. They pour the milk here. It's filtering.
They bring it and they put it in here.
Yes.
Yeah. And then?
Then this is the milk. This is the fat testing machine where automatically fat is measured, and that particular digit you see here. This is the 8.4. It means it is a buffalo milk.
Yeah.
That particular fat price it automatically
What is this? The computer.
This is the computer. This entire system is called as a AMCS, or it is called as an automatic milk collection system that directly gives price and what amount of the milk particular member
But isn't
holds.
it very important for the milk to be immediately kept cold?
Yes.
So explain that to me. This is the freezer,
This
right?
is the freezer, or you can call it as a bulk chilling.